Hey, what's going on guys? Jolts here, back with another build video, and today we're going to be going over Splash Master Moze for level 65. Guys, this build is ridiculous. It can do all the content in the game, you know, like Malawan takedown, Guardian takedown, Mayhem 10, whatever. On top of that, it's actually so easy to use too. Now, the focus of the build is to use splash damage and get the most out of it. Thanks to the new level cap of 65, we can push this build even further. I mean with the skill points, that is. So yeah, if you want to download the save for yourself, I will link it in the description. That save will be in PC format. As for console, I'm sorry guys, there's no way to convert from PC to console at this moment. But maybe in the future we will get that option. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the build. Let's start with the annoyance. So for your annoyance, you want to go for either consecutive hits, the U-Rad annoyance, which is 50% HP, 150% rad, or any kind of splash annoyance like action skill in, 200% splash, after exiting Iron Bear, 160% splash for 18 seconds. It's really your call. Now, the reason I favor consecutive hits for this build is because it can stack to 200% bonus damage without using your Iron Bear. You can stack the damage with anything too, it doesn't have to be from the gun. You can stack it with grenades, damage over time, whatever. So as long as you're throwing out damage on the battlefield, you're gonna have a flat 200% damage bonus. Alright, let's go over the weapons. So first off, we have the Prompt Critical. This is a new gun we got from DLC 4, and if you do want to get it for yourself, I do recommend checking my item guide on that. So this pistol hits like a brick. The cool thing is, it shoots out 3 bullets at the cost of 1 ammo per shot. Each bullet doing 20,000 damage, so, you know, about 60,000 damage per shot. Now we have the Flipper, and the Flipper is insane. The damage output is very high, and at the same time, it doesn't have a crazy fire rate. That means we can sustain infinite ammo on this thing and deliver insane damage. For this build, it's going to be one of your best choices, so I do recommend picking this up. We have the Sandhawk, and the Sandhawk's going to be for your tougher enemies or bosses. For launchers, your go-to is going to be the Backburner or the Plague Bearer. Not many launchers in the game can compete with those two weapons. The Old God, and this is going to buff your damage by 20%. Now, to be honest, you can use any shield you want, it doesn't really matter. But the focus of the build is to go for maximum damage, so either try the Old God or a Bandit Sidorak or something like that. The Cloning Maddening Tracker. That's right, we're going to be spamming these. That's going to allow us to sustain infinite ammo and also heal. Now, these things can be a pain to farm, but the good news is you don't have to farm a new one if you have one. You don't need this at max level. The healing skill Vampire is based on hits, so even if this thing is level 1, it's still going to heal you perfectly fine. Now, you might be thinking, why level 1? Well, this part is optional, and that's because of Fire into Skagden. You might have noticed when using a high-level Maddening Tracker, if it hits you at your feet, sometimes you instantly die. And yeah, that is because of the Fire into Skagden skill. To get one of these at level 1, all you need to do is join a friend in co-op with a low-level character, and have Loot Instance roll you one. Because you're on a new character and also level 1, that means you can roll Anointed level 1 gear. Again, it doesn't have to be a low level, but it will stop you from dying from Fire into Skagden. For the class mod, we have the Blastmaster, and that will give you 100% bonus splash if you don't reload. For the skills, all you gotta get is 1 point in redistribution. That will help with your ammo regen. And for the artifact, the Pearl of Knowledge. This will give you a flat 90% damage bonus all the time. Now, do make sure you roll mag size on it because you want to have a good enough magazine for regen. And for the rest, we have some more prompt criticals, another Flipper, the Major Kong. This is another new weapon we got in DLC 4, and it's actually really good, but the Plague Bearer and Backburner are a little bit easier to use. Some more Backburners, some more Plague Bearers, some more Sandhawks. The Big Boom Blaster is another good choice too if you want to regen grenades and rocket ammo, but we're going for maximum damage, which is why we want the Old God. Now, if you can't get the Cloning Maddening Tracker, 2 other really good choices are the Epicenter and the Light Speed. These grenades hit many times, which is going to be really good for Vampire and your redistribution. We have the Minesweeper, and now, sometimes you'll be doing some farming, like farming, I don't know, Grave Ward, and you gotta save quit over and over. Instead of waiting for a full minute to get the bonus from Blastmaster, just pop on the Minesweeper and easily kill the boss. Either get Fire into Skagden or Torg Cross Promotion. Now, if you don't have DLC for the Pearl of Knowledge, I do recommend a Victory Rush. This is actually a pretty good backup for increasing your damage. And again, make sure you roll mag size on it at the bare minimum. And a Cutpurse Launchpad in case I need ammo, but for this kind of build, you're not going to need it. Alright, that's it for the gears, so let's go over the skill tree. We have Fire into Skagden, that's going to give you more fire damage on your splash. Only 2 points in Grizzle to move down the tree, we're not focused on Iron Bear at all. Means of Destruction. When doing splash damage, you're going to regen ammo and grenades back. Now, because we're going to be spamming splash weapons and the Cloning Maddening Tracker, this skill and redistribution will allow us to sustain infinite ammo. Toward cross promotion, more splash damage. Now, it will double your splash damage radius, so you do want to be a little bit careful with that. Pull the Holy Pin, your grenades can crit. Now, we're not using the Cloning Maddening Tracker for damage, but if it hits a critical hit, it's going to activate redistribution for ammo regen. So basically, with this skill, you can regen ammo all the time. We have Auto Bear for setting up Iron Bear on the field, and again, we're not focused on Iron Bear at all, but if you want to debuff enemies using target softening, you can. Now we have Vampire, and this is going to keep you invincible. As long as you're chucking grenades, you're never going to die. To the last, you can throw grenades and fight for your life. This is just for if you need a second win, you can sustain your infinite ammo while trying to go for it. And finally, we have Short Fuse. There's a 20% chance for a secondary explosion for even more damage. This skill is insane right now, it's doing way more than what it says, and I believe that's because of the Mayhem scaling. So yeah, this will be a big source of your damage, so don't pass it up. Alright, that's it for Blue Tree, so now to talk about Orange versus Green Tree. Now for this build, you don't need massive magazines, like, you know, we're not using Bladoffs. So there's going to be no point for going for Forge for ammo regen or even boosting your mag size even more. Thanks to redistribution and means of destruction, we are already sustaining infinite ammo. I guess what I'm saying is if you add up all the damage values in Green Tree versus Orange Tree, you get way more out of Orange Tree. That is why we capstone Orange Tree. Alright, let's talk about Orange Tree. So first off, Security Bear, we don't need it, but we gotta move down. Armored Infantry, it's going to give you more gun damage and damage reduction. Drowning in Brass is going to give you 60% more gun damage at the cost of a little bit of fire rate. It is worth it. Flat Off Ingenuity for more shield stuff. We don't super need it, but these don't matter at all. Now, I do want to point out, if you are using a URAD setup on your weapons, grab Thin Red Line to lower your HP. So take a few points out of Flat Off Ingenuity and put it into Thin Red Line. Experimental Munitions, that's going to give you more fire damage if you hit a crit. Behind the Iron Curtain, we don't really need this, but these don't matter at all. We're always going to be full HP, we don't need that. So we did put points right there. And again, if you are using a URAD setup with your Thin Red Line, go ahead and grab Desperate Measures. Move your 3 points from here over here. Phalanx Doctrine. This will give you more gun damage and shields when you get a kill. And guys, this can stack as much as you want. So if you get just 5 kills in 30 seconds, which is pretty easy with this build, you're going to have a 50% gun damage bonus. With this skill alone, this is going to be way more than what Green Tree can offer you. It's going to beat out the skills Scrappy, Scorching RPMs, Click in most situations. Yeah, this skill is amazing. And because we're already fully invested in Orange Tree, might as well grab Tenacious Defense. When your shield breaks, you get a 30% gun damage bonus. It's Mayhem 10, so your shield's going to be broken all the time. Even when using Phalanx Doctrine, it's still going to be broken. Now, it's only active for 30 seconds, but once your shield is full and breaks again, you get that bonus back. Now, you might be thinking, well, if you're in the middle of combat, it's going to be broken, which means it can never recharge, which means you can't reactivate the skill. Hey, guess what? You can. When your Phalanx Doctrine skill drops off, it will regen your shield back to its original value. That means your shield is going to be full again, which means you can re-break the shield for the 30% gun damage bonus. So basically, you can chain this forever. Alright, that's it for Orange, so let's go ahead and go over the Green Tree. First off, Cloud of Lead. Every 4th shot is going to be free. Also, you get a little more fire damage on top of that. We have Daka Bear, and this is just for skipping Scourge's, you know, teleportation phase. So basically, if you're in Daka Bear when he tries to teleport you away, you could just hop out and avoid the teleportation. That is the only reason we got this skill, so if you want to put it anywhere else, you can. Stoke the Embers, more fire damage. Redistribution. When you score a critical hit, you will get ammo and health regen. Remember, we're using Pull the Holy Pen, which means our grenades can crit. Thanks to the Cloning Maddening Tracker, that's going to make this active all the time. And finally, 1 point in Russian Offensive. Now this is optional, but the only reason I grabbed it is because there could be a time where you overspam your grenades and you run out. Now it's not very often it happens, but if it does, you have a backup source of healing. Alright, that's going to be it for these skill trees, so let's go ahead and show off the build. So we're on Mayhem 10, here's the modifiers I have, and let's push forward. Starting off with the Prompt Critical, let's see the damage on that. If I could hit, yeah, he died. And for this build, you want to make sure you keep throwing grenades, but don't overthrow them, otherwise you will run out. You just want to make sure you have one out on the battlefield at all times. And you can see the Prompt Critical is a really good weapon of choice. Now, I don't recommend using the sticky mode as much. It's not bad, but I feel like you get more out of impact mode. Now for the Flipper. The Flipper is probably one of the most overpowered weapons in this game. You can see there it does 7,000 damage, but at the cost of 1 ammo, it's shooting 9 pellets. You can see here. Yeah, and that's all splash damage too. So when I shoot this thing, things will melt. And then you also combine Fire into Skagden and the Short Fuse skill. The damage really adds up. And you can see it just makes easy work of everything. Yeah, he just died. Alright, your turn. Your turn. You. Oh wait, nobody lives. Sandhawk. Semi-auto. Almost one shot. I did miss half the pellets, but there you go. And remember, we're using the Blastmaster, which means you don't want to reload. As long as you throw grenades and activate redistribution and all that good stuff, you're never going to have to reload. Even with this gun, with a 9 magazine, you can see we regen it back to full. Which is why you do not need Forge for this build, or much of Green Tree. So yeah, for mobbing, it's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and take on a boss. Time for trot. Let's go ahead and throw up your grenades. Stack up our consecutive hits. And that should be enough. Yep, there we go. And you can see one short fuse starts to go off and stuff. It really, really adds up. And the boss is dead. And we still sustain full ammo. So I think you guys get the point of the build now. Go ahead and try it out for yourself. It is a lot of fun. And like I mentioned before, if you want to download the save for yourself, it will be down in the description. But do keep in mind that save is in PC format. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and of course, if you did, then please be sure to leave a like, because that'd be awesome. And if you guys really enjoyed it, be sure to sub. You guys have a great day, and I will see you all later. Peace out.